I got the dream flop. Again, I think this is a spot where some people who are not that game flow aware might not be looking to stack off. Like some guys might check back this flop, they might wanna pot control, they might be a bit scared of the thought of getting check raised. But when I bet here, what I'm like almost praying for is getting check raised, because that's what I wanna see here. If he check raises me, it's great, because I'm just gonna be calling and stationing down on this board. It's the kind of a flop, I call these the Cold South flops, because like I remember ages ago when I was starting poker, Cold South published that ebook where he told the world about check raise bluffing dry flops because no one knows how to play back on them. In cash games, well, I haven't actually played cash games for years, so I don't know, but I assume that in higher stakes cash games it probably doesn't work that well anymore, because everyone kind of knows about it now, and now people don't play their hands so much anymore. People do pay attention to what the others are representing in a way different way than in 2009. So this is the kind of flop that I would check raise bluff if my opponent was a really weak guy, kind of like the hand against this guy earlier when I had trees on 9-6 deuce. But against a good player, I'd probably check raise for value mostly, because he would expect me to check raise bluff with air. This guy, when he check raises, I'm just like really happy he does this. Really, I'm looking to just call down all the way. If he actually has a set, then good for him. If he has a king queen, it's a really good play by him, by the way. Because if I didn't have queen jack here, if I had air, I would also not believe this. I would spaz off so hard. I would like either click it back 3-bet, or I would call and float. I think this hand would be a lot more interesting and fun for the video if I actually had air here, if I had like 7-6 offsuit, because I think I would either just flat to rep real strong and then bet the turn if it checks, or then I would click it back 3-bet. But given that I have the top pair, I'm just gonna be calling all the way. The turn is obviously a super dreamy card for us, because, well, first of all, if it was an ace or a king, it would kinda suck for us, because whatever he bluffs there with, he could have actually got there. If it was a spade, it would also kinda suck, because he could actually have a flush draw pretty easily there. I think if he has a flush draw, check raising there is a pretty good play. Also with the deuce, now there's a lot less set combos, so I'm even more confident that I have the best hand. He bets again. I think I should just call here and snap call any river. Like, even if the river was some super ugly card like the ace of spades or whatever, I would still just call and call, because I would expect him to, you know, on a river like that he'd also bet that as a bluff if he had a total airball. He definitely would have it sometimes when we got there, but he'd have air a fair bit as well. So yeah, I should call twice. I think I just shoved here. Yeah, like, I mean, as long as I don't fold here, it's fine really, but I do think I'm missing value a fair bit by shoving. I mean, I don't know, maybe I thought in game that he wasn't the kind of guy who would continue the bluff on the river. Maybe I was a bit worried because this pot was the massive chip lead pot. I think the average was like 45k. I was a bit worried about protecting my stack because I really wanted to go to the final table as a chip leader. Didn't want him to bink on the river. I don't know, like, I guess it's reasonable to shove here, but I still should just call and call. Aim to be trapping him all the way, in my opinion. Even if he's not the kind of guy who would actually end up doing the river bluff a whole lot, it still has got to be better than what I did here. But yeah, I shoved and he pretty much snap folded, so I guess he didn't have a huge hand after all, like I knew he didn't.